Right now, my kids. Those are my kids. That's not all their current age. They'd be like, dude, his wife pops kids out really fast. They're just one of the smallest, cutest, and easiest to deal with, just like you used to be before you became blood-sucking vampire teenagers. But we love you anyway, kind of, sort of. It's worth sacrifices and stuff. No, they're cute because they're small. Look, if you added 4 feet and 150 pounds to any toddler, no one on earth would be safe. No one. I'd come home from work, there'd be like a 6'2" guy in the hallway, naked, covered in marker. There's something my kids have in common with you and everybody throughout history, is that they all love songs. You can go back 10,000 years to the cavemen, and they had love songs that they sang in the caves, I'm sure. See, because we're born with a desire for love. In fact, it's an act of love that brings us into existence in the first place. I told my son Ethan about the birds and the bees, and he's the little guy in the middle. He was 10 when I told him. He looked at me for a long time, and he goes, "You and Mom." 6 times. And then he goes, "How long have people been doing this?" I said, "Is there any other way?" No, there is no other way. This is the way God willed for every life to come into the world, through an act of love. That's why we love love songs. That's why we love love stories, too. First time I met my wife, I was at Mass at college for the first time, and I was deep in prayer, and I was scoping the chapel for girls. Don't judge me, you've done that. In fact, I saw half of you guys doing that tonight at church. Laugh at me. And the first one I noticed was her. Oh man, she's beautiful. And then I thought, she's out of my league. I was wrong. Our second date, I was playing guitar to her. I played Annie's song, this beautiful love song. And she goes, "Stop." And I'm like, "Why?" She goes, "I'll tell you later." Later she told me, ever since she was 3, she thought the first guy that played that song to her was the guy she was going to marry. Yeah. So guys, if you play guitar because you think it'll get you girls, you're correct. We have an amazing capacity for love. That's why we love those kinds of stories. And I see it in my kids from the time they're born, they come out of the womb looking for love. There's my Rosemary. Gorgeous. Look at the lips. Okay, this is her now. She came home from school on Valentine's Day last year, and she goes, "Dad, I have a fever. A love fever." So, yeah, this is my son Ethan. This is him now. He's a freak. It's awesome. When he was 4, my wife was putting him to sleep, and he said, "Are we going to see the real Mother Mary someday?" "Yeah, we are." "What's she going to look like?" "The most beautiful woman you ever saw." And he goes, "Not as beautiful as you." My little Genevieve, when she was 3, she woke up and she goes, "Daddy, I had a dream that we're in a race, but we're each riding on a butterfly and we both won." Okay, my next kid is the cutest one. I think he's adorable. Here he is. He's like a cute beast. I mean, I don't know what to do with the cuteness. I just gotta lock it up. It's just gonna explode everywhere. Okay, this is my Joey. Joey likes me better than his mom. Yes. Because kids usually don't like dad better than mom. They just love me more. Whatever. They usually love mom more than dad. So he's like, "Dad, I love you more." I'm like, "Dude, don't say that. Just say you love us differently because you'll hurt mom's feelings." And he goes, "Fine. I love you differently if by differently you mean more." The other day he told me, he's like, "Dad, when I'm a man, I want to live next door so I can hug you before work in the morning." My little Eloise. Yeah, it's ridiculous. She had her first day of preschool the other day, and she punched 2 boys. And her preschool teacher said, "Why did you do that?" And she goes, "Because I'm strong." Duh. This is my little baby Clementine, who's so cute I want to kick her. I don't know what to do with the cute. Check this out. She's staring at her dad's face in that picture, just staring at me with so much love. At the age of 1, so much love. And in this picture, she's 8 weeks old staring at me. So much love in these people from the time they come out of the womb. That love sets us apart from all of creation. At that age, you can't do anything impressive except poop in your sleep, which is kind of amazing. Go home and try that. I'm sorry, I forget I'm talking to high school teens. I'm kidding. Don't go home and try that. But even though that's all they can do, they stand apart from everything. That's not actual size. But spiritually, it's actual size. See, as big as an ocean is, can it love somebody? As big as a mountain is, can it make a choice? As big as a galaxy is, can it switch directions? No, but you can do all those things. See, you and me are made in the image and likeness of the God who is love. We're made to give and receive love. The capacity for love sets us apart from everything. I think we feel small, but God is looking down from heaven saying, you're massive next to all this. You ever see those bumper stickers that say, my border collie's smarter than your honor student? I made one that says, my honor student dissected your border collie. God bless. Ain't anything in Padua Catholic Church. You're more important than everything around you. Now here's a great tragedy. Despite the fact that we have this capacity for love that sets us apart from all things, there's such a widespread failure in this particular area of our lives. Such brokenness, broken hearts, lives, marriages, bodies, reputations, educations. You know, I think it's partly because when it comes to this part of our lives, so many of us look to the wrong places, to the wrong people to chart a course for ourselves. So we look to this world that gives us an invitation to an imitation of what real love's all about. This vision of love that's cheap, passing for momentary pleasure doesn't mean much. My brothers and sisters, if you want to succeed at the love you were made for, you have to look to the maker, to the inventor of male and female, to the inventor of love and relationships, to the inventor of sex, and follow his plan. Who invented sex? God. A little louder. God. Whoa. Did you say God and sex? No way. Isn't God the imaginary guy from confirmation class? Okay, listen, my friends. Atheism is like a flea that doesn't believe in the dog. There is a God. I was debating an atheist online. He's like, Chris, you saying there's a God? It's like a kid coming down on Christmas morning, seeing presents under his tree and saying, oh, look, presents, there must be a Santa. So I'm like, really? Because you saying there's no God? It's like a kid coming down on Christmas morning, seeing presents under his tree and saying, oh, look, presents, they must have exploded themselves here. One of Einstein's assistants said that saying all this could come about from a random series of explosions is like saying an unabridged dictionary could come from a print shop explosion. Print shop explodes, paper, ink, bindings. Hey, dictionary. I don't think so. Yeah, but it all just evolved here. Really? Just by itself? Really? Tell me what's cooler, a God who can take a lump of clay and say, look, a rhino, or a God who can say, hey, watch what this ball of gas does. I haven't been able to do anything life-giving with my balls of gas, ever. There is a God. This is not make-believe. The idea that something can come from nothing is ridiculous. And this God who created everything has everything to do with sex. Obviously. It's just not like some byproduct of evolution he had nothing to do with, where he's looking down from heaven saying, oh, myself. What are they doing? Hey, a baby came out of that. He could have made us reproduce like trees if he wanted to. Like, what's that growing from my head? Hey, it's a kid. But he didn't. He made this the way every life would come to the world. So let's ask him, God, why did you invent sex? 2 reasons, very simple. 1, to bring new life into the world. 2, to unite a married couple in love. To bring new life into the world, to unite a married couple in love. And even though this whole world's offering us something cheap by comparison, I know I'm not a lone voice inviting you to something noble. See, because the God who carved his plan for sex into your body also carved it into your soul. You know in the depths of your heart you're made for something noble, beautiful, authentic, and true when it comes to this part of your life. But listen up. You have to follow your Maker's plan to find it. See, because if you take something outside of your Maker's plan, you shouldn't expect things to end very well. My son Ethan, when he was 4, was playing with a fork and a light socket. Is that what that's for? Mm-hmm. See, so he's playing with this fork and like sticking in there. You know, my wife comes running to see what happened. He's got a fork with big chunks missing from it. There's black going up the wall. It's like, Ethan, are you okay? Yeah. This same little explorer gets out of the shower when he's 5 and goes like this. What is that for? Don't tell me it's for going to the bathroom. Why doesn't Rose have one? Okay, my prayer for him and for everyone here is that his approach to sex is more intelligent than his approach to that light socket. I'm not here today to tell you what you have to do. I can't enforce anything I'm going to say. I'm not going to be in the backseat of the car after your senior prom. Hey, it's me, Chastity Guy. You can do anything you want. You can. You can choose any path you want through life. Dude, you can go up for the Olympics with absolutely no athletic ability if you really want to. I just don't recommend trying it. But you can. Sorry, there's no volume on there. Couldn't fix the volume. You can do it, but if you're not made for it, don't, please. And you can choose any sin you want. Here's what you can't choose. It's a real bummer. You can't choose the consequences to your sins.
You can't choose the consequences. The consequences of taking sex outside of your maker's plan are disastrous. In fact, there's few areas of your life where your one choice will impact your happiness in every other as much as this. Your choice for authentic love or for the imitation. Your choice for God's plan or for the world's invitation to an imitation of love. Now, what's one of the most basic, blatant, obvious consequences of sex outside of your maker's plan? 3 letters, has to do with your health. Shout it out. You guys are smart, dude. These are like 3 letters, has to do with your health. Half the room, these are like, AIDS. Dang. Okay, listen. Brace yourselves. This is an actual close-up picture of an STD. There's an LA website where you can send people anonymous e-greetings telling them they might have an STD. One of them goes like this: it's not what you came to the party with, it's what you left with. I left with an STD. You might have too. Get checked out soon. If you've seen the Vietnam War Memorial, there's about 50,000 names on there. That times 10 is the amount of people in our country dead and buried from AIDS. Over 500,000 people. You can send people anonymous e-greetings on this site telling them they might have AIDS. Wow. But wait, if you want to have sex outside of your maker's plan and not worry about any consequences, what does this whole world tell us to do? Just use? Yeah, you're like, we're Catholics, we don't know what you're talking about. Shut up, you liars. Just use? Yeah, you go to public school, you've heard the message. You go to the gas station bathroom, you've seen it for sale. Okay, listen carefully. If you can buy it in the bathroom gas station wall, it is not health care. What's a doctor going to wear if he's coming in contact with a disease that might kill him? Might look kind of like that. What's it give you to wear? Does it look anything like that? Anything less than that is not sufficient to call it protection or safe. The NIH, that's the National Institutes of Health, did this big study on how safe sex actually is. Here's what they came up with. HIV, 85% risk reduction. All the rest of those they found, insufficient evidence to determine effectiveness. More recent studies showed a 50% risk reduction on some of those. Yeah, I have a skydiving company and the parachutes open 85% of the time. You want to go skydiving? There is insufficient evidence to determine if my parachutes will open. I call my company Safe Parachutes. You see a problem with my logic. We're giving your generation a wrong impression of how safe they actually are. There's a Colorado campus near where I live where there was a problem with girls sleeping around while drunk. By the way, guys, that's considered rape. You can go to jail for it. Some guy's thinking, I can't even get a girl to say hi to me unless she's drunk. Girls, don't talk to him. Parents were not happy about this, so they have this motto they pushed around campus to protect the girls. It was this: when you're drunk, you're likely to have sex with someone you wouldn't have lunch with, so make sure you bring a condom. Ew! How about this? When you're drunk, you're likely to have sex with someone you wouldn't have lunch with, so don't go do that, or you might get an anonymous e-greeting from Mr. Krabs the next day. Today, in our safe sex culture, where you can get all the condoms you can possibly imagine, over 43,000 people just in our country alone will get an STD. So many people worry about, did I get pregnant? That clears up in 9 months. Some of these things never do. You should be more worried about not being able to get pregnant. You see, a lot of STDs cause infertility. Sometimes it's the first symptom you have. Like chlamydia, almost usually, most of the time, there's no symptoms, and then you're like 35, it's like, dang, why can't I have a kid? HPV has killed more women than AIDS. Tons of people get it, a small percent get cervical cancer from it, but so many have gotten it, it's killed more than AIDS. There's a new vaccine that protects you from 2 of the strains of it that cause cervical cancer, but not all of them. So it's still going to claim a lot of lives. And despite the fact that there's so little to adequately protect you, we still have so many people telling you guys, it's best to wait, but just in case, here's a condom. Dude, that would be like me grabbing this microphone and saying, hey guys, it's best to not rob banks, but just in case, here's a bulletproof vest. Hey, listen, don't do heroin. Don't do heroin, but just in case, the school nurse has clean needles for you. Just in case. I'm going to say something because the presumption here is that you can't control yourselves. And the message is really clear. It's that you can't control yourselves. Well, here's the ideal, but since you're little animals, here's what you have to do. How about this? This is a crazy, radical, countercultural message. I'm insane for saying this. Ready? Listen carefully. You can control yourself. Anyone tell them we're teenagers? Yeah. You can control yourself. You can actually do the right thing. Don't rob banks, don't do heroin, don't have sex outside of your maker's plan, or you'll get broken in a lot of ways. Can I hear an amen? Amen. It should offend you when people imply you can't control yourselves. You know what else should offend you? How chauvinistic our safe sex culture is. Back in the 60s, they invented the birth control pill. They tried a version of it out on guys. It caused some minor shrinkage. They stopped all testing immediately. Can't risk that. They tried it on girls. You know what happened? Killed 3 of them. Decreased the dosage. Try again. True story. It's the same stuff you use now. You think hormonally manipulating yourself to sterilize yourself temporarily isn't messing with your health? It decreases your chance of getting pregnant, but increases your chance of getting STD by about 10 times, increases your chance of getting blood clots, increases your chance of getting cancer. Depo-Provera shots are so good at causing cancer, vets have stopped giving them to dogs. But it's still a form of birth control we give you girls. You know what else it's good at? It's so good at killing your sex drive. There are certain states where we give it to repeat sex offenders. What? Yeah. Too dangerous for your puppy dog, perfect for a serial rapist, and perfect for you. Thanks for looking out for me, Mom. I don't think so. And even if it can fully protect your skin, you can't protect your heart. There's more to you than skin. Girls who have sex in high school, these are facts, I'm not making them up. You can choose your sin, you can't choose the consequence. Girls who have sex in high school are 3 times more likely to be depressed. Guys, 2 times more likely to be depressed. You think you're exposing your heart like that to one person after another, and there's no consequence? Give me a break. One study of 14,000 young people found that people who have sex in high school earn 16% less throughout the course of their lives. True story. Why? Because they were supposed to be in math land and they were in soap opera drama land. That's why. So if you really want to have safe sex, get what a doctor would wear if he's coming in contact with a disease that could kill him. Oh, you can't have sex with Stefanick. Exactly. Now, I can talk to them blue in the face, how it'll mess with your education, your reputation, your health, your happiness, blah, 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 blah. It's going to stop some people, not everybody. Why? Back to my original point. Because you and me are made in the image and likeness of God, who is love. That's why. We have an insatiable desire for love. It's my son kissing his cousin. Hopefully he won't do that when he's 15. Sorry. If you think sex equals love, if you think having sex equals making love, all the STDs in the world won't scare you from it. A failed education won't scare you from it. Heartbreak won't scare you from it. AIDS won't scare you from it. You'd rather be dead than not loved, especially you girls. That's why you got to know the difference between what's real and what's fake. Listen carefully. Ferrari did an experiment. He got a cheap engine made in the South Pacific. Didn't sound quite right. Listen carefully. Tell me if you can hear this is a fake. Sound kind of off? Yeah. Keep listening. Did that sound a little off to you? I hope so. Girls, You have to know how to hear the difference between what's real and what's fake, between I love you and I want you. Because guys will try to make those two things sound the same, and they're not. Some guy's thinking, dang, he just blew my cover. That's right, that's why I get paid. Guys, you have to know how to hear the difference between I love you and I need you. Now, don't get me wrong. It might feel really nice to be needed. It might feel nice if someone's all clingy to you and they'll do anything to hold on to that relationship with you. Huh? And why? Because you complete me. Now, you know what's often lurking behind that kind of neediness? They'll do anything with their body to hold on to that relationship with you. It's not you're the man. It's my dad wasn't the man. It's there's something missing from my heart and my life. And I'm trying to fill that wound with you. Guys, if you're in that relationship, you feel like the man, but you're actually a poodle and all your friends can see that. See, because you're being manipulated through your sexuality to fill someone's unhealthy need they should be filling in counseling. Girls, if you are in that relationship, or if you are in a place in your life where you can't imagine the thought of not having a boyfriend, that is the first sign that you need to not have a boyfriend. Until you can imagine not having a boyfriend, then you can have a boyfriend in a healthy, normal way. Girls, take a deep breath. Go ahead. You don't need a boyfriend. No way. Seriously. You're figuring out who you are right now. Identity formation. As you figure out who you are, you're going to have some natural insecurities. If you want to complete, who am I? I'm a couple. That is a first-class ticket to one dysfunctional relationship after another for the rest of your life. Because if that is your identity, you can do anything to hold on to that relationship. As my good buddy Jason says, find your bridesmaids now, find your husbands later. Amen? Good, stand on your own 2 feet. Listen, if you don't know the difference between love and want and love and need, it'll cost you more than it costs for some rip-off car. It'll cost you your life, your happiness. Certainly, it's going to cost you healthy relationships. Who wants a good, happy marriage in here someday? Check this out, guys. There's a 50% divorce rate today. Now, I'm not saying if your parents are divorced, this is why. There might be a lot of reasons for it. One of the great tragedies of divorce is that the pain that couple shared is now yours to deal with as a kid. That stinks. Check this out. People who live together outside of marriage, divorce rate, 80%. I was giving this assembly at a public school once. A kid in the front row interrupted me. She goes, "What are you saying, we shouldn't live together outside of marriage?" So I said, I hate teenagers. All of them. Yes, I'm kidding. So I'm like, no, you can do whatever you want. I'm not making this stuff up, unfortunately. You can choose your sin. You can't choose the consequence. You want 80%? Go for it. People who wait until they're married, you more than double your chance of a happy marriage. It's just a fact. Wow. What's the secret? What's the secret? I'll tell you what. Here's a radical idea. When it comes to your longing for love, let's stop looking at a world that's failing. And let's start looking to the Maker, because He might have something to say. What's His model for love for us? Is it you know each other for a half hour like they do in the movies? They sleep together and they sealed the deal. They're in love. No. What's my model for love? Ephesians 5. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church. How exactly did Jesus love the church? I'll tell you how. He laid down His life for what's good for us. There was no give and take. There was no and take. It wasn't 50-50. It was just 100%. That was it. Anything less than that. I don't care what you see in the movies, where love is just this hyper-emotional experience. No. Anything less than a love that lays down its life for what's good for you is a lie. A lie. It's an imitation. It says with your body, I'm all yours, but you never said that with your life. And I love you so much. Let me risk your health. I love you so much. Let me give you a secret to keep from your parents. I love you so much. Let me risk you getting pregnant. I love you so much. Let me trash your reputation. I love you so much. Let me double your chance of divorce. I love you so much. Let me put a wedge between you and your parents. I love you so much. Let me separate you from God. That's how much I love you. Don't you love me? Come on, baby, don't you love me? What, don't you love me? How fast love becomes anger when you say no. How about this? I love you so much. Let me show you, you don't have to do anything for me to love you. Isn't that sweet? No, it's normal. I love you so much. Let me put what's good for you first and what I want from you second. I love you so much. Let me protect your health, your future marriage, your reputation. Let me honor your relationship with your parents and with God. I love you so much. Let me save you from the stress of maybe getting pregnant right now. That is how much I love you. Let me lay down my life and desire for what's good for you. Oh, this is garbage, because like I do stuff with my boyfriend or girlfriend and it feels like love, and I see stuff in the movies and it looks like love. Okay, a little tip to take through life and apply to every moral decision you will ever make. Do not make moral decisions with your feelings. If I did that, dude, what if someone like cut me off on the freeway this morning and I followed my heart? And I followed him home. That's how you all think about sex too, though, isn't it? People about to have sex, they're not asking is this right or wrong, is this what God wants? They're not thinking their way through this, they're feeling their way through it, and they're asking the all-powerful question, do I feel ready? If you pass through puberty, the answer is yes. So, love has a definition, my friends. You want love, you should know what it is. What is love? What is love? To love someone is to do what's good for them. To love someone is to do what's good for them. To love someone is to do what is what? I don't care how loving it feels to put someone's life, health, and happiness on the line. It's the polar opposite of love. It's parading around pretending to be love. Stop kidding yourself. There's nothing loving about it. I gave this talk in Canada at an assembly, and a kid emailed me right after. He's like, Chris, man, you don't understand. I am in tears when I make love to my girlfriend. That's why I hate Canadians. All of them. Yes, I'm kidding. So I'm like, dude, okay, first of all, I'm really sorry to hear that because it's weird. Please go talk to the school nurse immediately. Second, you think your tears justify all the ways you're putting her happiness on the line? I said, what if you came to my door and said, Mr. Stefanick, I make love to your daughter, but don't worry, I'm in tears when I do. Let's cry together, son. If you can't stand in front of the man who would have taken a bullet for her from the time she was born and tell him what you're doing, don't you dare call it love. Don't you dare. Nothing loving about that. Real love should be proud of it in front of the man who loves you the most. Does this make sense to everybody? Yeah. Good. There's a difference between this making sense to you, though, and you thinking you can live it out, isn't it? I mean, some guys are thinking, this makes sense, but impossible. Because of something called testosterone. Guys, can you say that with me? That's awesome. Put a little more testosterone. Let's hear it again. I did this talk to the junior high today. I'm like, guys, come on, say testosterone. They're like, testosterone. It was awesome. So I'm laughing. I'm like, what's funny? I'm like, nothing. Guys, there's 20 times more testosterone in your body than the girls are sitting around you. He's like, yeah. When you guys, just the guys, when you're 8 weeks along in mama's belly as a little fetus, there's a big surge of testosterone that kicks in. It kills cells in the communication center of your brain, enlarging cells in the sex center of your brain. Does that explain a couple things about you? Girls are like, it explains everything. Poor guys in puberty, they're like, what's wrong with me? Do nothing, relax, just testosterone. Having testosterone's fine. Don't be afraid. Fear not, okay? There's a reason that pretty much every nation in history was founded by a man. Testosterone. It's also why most prison inmates are men.
Testosterone. Just make sure the testosterone, like, pulls your life in the right direction rather than pulling you off a cliff somewhere. Okay, girls, some of you think this is impossible because you think, if I don't do X, Y, and Z with a guy through high school, throughout college, then who's going to love me? I'm glad I could put words to that so you can hear how pathetic it sounds. If you have to do for it, is it love? Man, you start with the bar up here, like, I'm beautiful, I'm a princess, I'm worthy of love, and no one loves me there, so someone love me here. What if I do this? And so, no one took me to the dance. Oh, wow. Okay, so someone please love me. Make me feel loved. Please love me. Is that love that you're getting when you have to do that? I don't think so. Real love raises you up. Girls, give me an amen. Amen. If you can't find that, dude, don't go to the dance. Better than being used after the dance. That's a price you got to pay to go to the dance. Give me a break. Even though it might seem impossible to do the right thing, it is possible. See, virtue is like a muscle. The more you work it out, the stronger it gets. Never work it out, it gets weak. How do you work out the muscle that is purity? Real simple. Tip number 1. Don't ask the question some of y'all were thinking as soon as I opened my mouth tonight. How far is too far? How far can over there? How far can I go? No. Answer the question. No. Dude, as soon as you started asking that, you stopped loving. That would be like me driving down the freeway with my wife and kids. Hey, let's see how close we can get to the oncoming traffic. That was awesome. Let's do it again. Daddy's a psycho. I love them. I ask how close can I get you to what's good for you. Not how close can I get you to destruction. That's 1. 2, stay out of stupid situations. If you really insist on knowing how far is too far. As soon as you stepped on thin ice, you went too far. That was a kid from Canada. Okay. It wasn't real, okay? Half the room was like, not real. How far is too far? Here's the answer. If you really insist on an answer, here it is. As soon as you're alone with your boyfriend or girlfriend and the door shuts, you just went too far. Because if you're not thinking, what could happen next? You might need to go see a doctor. It is okay that you're biologically hardwired to reproduce. Don't take that hardwiring behind the closed door. Simple as that. I can't wait for my kids to say, Dad, trust me. And I'll say, no. Not until you're mature enough to not trust yourself on my behalf. Then I'll trust you not to trust you for me. I got that right. Did I? I did. See, it's a sign of maturity to not trust yourself. I don't trust myself. It's not because I'm a freak weirdo guy who's like, someone stabbed me. No, I'm not tempted to cheat on my wife. Honest to God, I'm not. Let me tell you why I'm not. Because I'm not dumb enough in my many travels around the world as an internationally renowned chastity speaker to go down to like the hotel bar at midnight and get strong drinks next to a pretty woman. Duh. Because if I did that everywhere I traveled, what? I'm a chastity speaker, I'm fine, I trust myself, hi there. Suddenly I'd be tempted to do things I'm not even tempted to do right now. See, when you're mature, you don't compromise yourself. You don't put yourself in dumb situations. And if you put yourself in a dumb situation, stop lying to yourself. It's because you want to be tempted. Bam, just caught you on that. Whatever you can do in a public place is not too far. Clarification for you freaky teenagers. Whatever you can do in a normal public place is not too far. Some weird public places for you guys. I was like, it's a public place, what? Because it's not too far, okay. So much shit comes from the fact that you guys are boring. You don't know what to do. You're on a date where it's like, what do you want to do? I don't know, what do you want to do? I don't know, what do you want to do? I don't know, what do you want to do? I don't know, what do you want to do? Next morning you're pregnant. Oops. How about this? What do you want to do? Let's go get some coffee. Let's go bowling. Let's go skip through a field with daisies. Let's go kill an alligator. I don't care what you do. Just think of something creative besides sitting there and looking at each other behind a closed door. So 1, don't ask how far is too far. 2, stay out of dumb situations. 3, keep your brain in the right place. Keep your thoughts clean. Wherever your head goes, your body will probably follow unless someone does a great karate. Okay, move on your thing. Wherever your mind goes,
Your life will probably follow. Do not let your mind go the way of porn. I've never seen porn. Liar! 90% of kids have by the time they're 16. Usually while doing homework. Porn industry sends out 2.5 billion emails per day to find out the names of children's toys as the website, so you stumble on it at a young age by accident. And it leads people's lives in directions they never intended. 2004, Toronto Police Department did a study of teens who were put in jail for sexually violent crimes. Wanted to find out how many of them got the ideas for what they did from porn. You know what they found? 100%. Not a shock. And you know what else is not a shock? That 13% of girls in college today experience attempted or completed rape. Not a shocker. Because John Paul II said the problem with porn isn't that it shows too much, it shows too little. It teaches you to look at the opposite sex and no longer see a human being, but an object to use. And using in violence, two sides, same coin. So you choose right now the kind of man you will become in life, or the kind of woman. But guys, everything that makes you a man is on the line. Your ability to be noble, to be dignified, to uphold the dignity of the opposite sex. All that's on the line. What you see in your wife someday is on the line. I see my best friend. What are you going to see? If it's difficult to leave it behind, tell your parents to move the computer out of your room, which will be especially difficult and embarrassing if you're a girl. Do it anyway. If they can't move it out of your room, tell them to put a block on it, okay? If you've broken through the password because it's your name, tell them they're stupid. Nicely. If you got a real problem with this, where you just can't stop watching porn, there's a website called covenanteyes.com. Well, problem with that? I'll do whatever I want. Ain't no problem. Yeah, right. Go home and try to stop. See what happens. You think sin plays nice with you? Or do you think that I'm here inviting you to slavery, or Jesus is like, come follow me, you'll be boring? I'm here inviting you to freedom. Sin makes you a slave. Sin owns you. And you have to conquer and enslave that temptation. Bring it to Christ as the King. CovenantEyes.com. Remember that, like Ark of the Covenant. You set someone up as your Covenant Eyes partner, they will get an email notification if you look at porn. Set your dad up as your Covenant Eyes partner, problem solved. Set your mom up as your Covenant Eyes partner, problem completely, instantly solved. Is all of this boring? I'm sorry, all this scary? Is all this not boring? Embarrassing? Yes. Okay, is it difficult? Yeah. Okay, listen. I'm looking at you guys right now. I know some of you guys are crazy enough to play football. What's wrong with you? You let people run at you at full speed, knock you down. Why? Why do you put up with the pain? I want to be great at football. I know some of you guys are crazy enough to stay up late and study. Why? I want to be a great student. Some of you guys play guitar till your fingers bleed. You want to be a great guitarist. You sacrifice for music, for sports, for grades, for relationships and friendships. You sacrifice for everything. And as soon as someone grabs this microphone and tells you how to sacrifice to be the person God is calling you to be, to have your heart be open to the love He made you for. No thanks. I'm out. Too embarrassing. Can we stop being wimps with the most important things in life? Can I hear an amen to that? Do what you gotta do to be the you you're supposed to be. So 1, don't ask how far is too far. 2, stay out of dumb situations. 3, keep your brain in the right place. 4, it's the bounce that counts. Get up when you fall down. My Joey used to love to get himself dressed and jump from high places whenever I was in the room, assuming that I would catch him. Kids are really stupid. One time I'm across the room, he was on top of a flight of stairs. And he's like, Dad's here. Duh. I run over to see what happened. He's laying there not moving. A couple seconds later, he goes like this. I love when you play dead. That's so cute. It's good. It's so good, man. Dad's here. Like, even if I hit the ground real hard, I get a SpongeBob Band-Aid lollipop. Awesome. Okay, something happens to us, so we don't like to fall on the ground anymore. I think it's called, like, 6th grade. You fall on the playground in 6th grade, people run over to you. They come up with names for you to help you stay. Hi there. I come up with names. I just want like Batman for a second. That was awesome. I come up with names for you to help you stay where you fell. Revelations calls the devil the accuser of our brothers. He's the one that after we fall, runs over to us and says, hey, you, that's who you really are. Yeah, everybody in your school sees it too. That thing you did that Saturday night, that party, that defines you. Don't forget it. Oh man, the devil's got so many helpers in your high school, doesn't he? Yeah. I gave this assembly once at some school, and a girl left the room crying because of something dumb she'd done at a party with the football captain. Football captain walks out of the assembly afterwards, sees her crying there, and laughs. Oh man. It's a good thing I don't carry a gun to my chastity assemblies. I am kidding about that. It's unbelievable. Literally doing the devil's job. Look, if you help people gossip, if you listen to gossip, you are helping the accuser of our brothers do his job. He can stay at the beach and sip a Corona. You got him covered. Don't do that. And if you're ever on the receiving end of gossip, listen carefully. This is going to blow your mind. Your high school, listen carefully, is not the whole world. No way. Yeah, and check this out, too. This is really crazy. You're going to spend more time not in high school than in it. The second you graduate, the little bubble of your world pops, and you're like, you guys, love you, be in touch with you forever. You guys, can't stand you, never see you again. Bye. It's awesome. Everything looks instantly different. Don't ever let your past mistakes determine your future direction. You get down on the ground there and you're thinking, man, I did this once, I might as well do it 1,000 more times. Do you know how stupid that is? Yeah, I might as well mess myself up in 1,000 more ways. Get up when you fall down. My Joey loves asking me questions about when I was his age because he wants to be like me when he's my age. It's like, Dad, when you were 7, was your favorite color blue? I'm like, yeah, of course. Awesome. Did you play ninjas when you were 7? I'm like, yeah, I am one. Yes. Did you kill squirrels when you were 7? I'm like, Joey, you killed a squirrel? Never mind. One day he stopped and he's like, Dad, how do you remember when you were 7? I'm like, I don't know, Joey, how do you remember yesterday? He goes, I don't remember yesterday. Okay, listen up. God did not die on the cross so you can come to a youth group. He didn't spill his blood so you could sing Praise You Jesus at Mass or whatever you sing. He died a gruesome death on the cross to hear your worst sin in confession. So you can get up and walk away from it. Don't be one of those people who does something in junior high or high school, hangs on to it until they're 80. Because that happens to a lot of people. You got one life to be here. God wants you to live it free. Start over. St. Paul liked to track down Christians to have them killed. He ended up writing the most of the New Testament. You think God was inserting a message in there for us? Yeah, me too. He wrote, anyone in Christ is a new creation. The old is gone. My wife knows the power of starting over again. I came to our marriage a virgin. She didn't. She was really scared of me finding out. She felt like damaged goods. She felt like she was worth less. I had the honor of showing her, when I look at you today, I don't see yesterday. I see my best friend, my bride, a daughter of God. 10 years into our marriage, it got really clear why she did some of the stuff she did when she was younger. She didn't fail to wait for me because she didn't think I'd be worth it. She didn't know me. She failed to wait because she didn't think she was worth it. When she was in junior high, she was sexually abused. Over 10% of the girls and over 4% of the guys in this room experienced that before you graduated high school. And that kind of experience teaches you a lot of lies about yourself. It teaches you your price tag is 0, you're free. It teaches you if you want to be loved, you have to do something for it. It teaches you have no right, no power to say no. Listen, if that's you, remember this beautiful saying. Your head is like a bad neighborhood. Don't go in there alone. Talk to someone.
If you don't, you can learn to get by in life. Did you dream of growing up and getting by in life? Did you? I didn't think so. Or maybe you medicate your pain through drugs, alcohol, more promiscuity. Is that what you dream of in life? I didn't think so. But when you face your wounds and talk to people, that wound in your life becomes scar tissue. Scar tissue is the strongest tissue in your body. The same is true of your soul. There is a strength and beauty in my wife that is not in other people. It's not despite what she went through, it's because of what she went through. But 10 years into our marriage, she really dealt with the wounds from her past. I had the honor of standing by her as her husband and being part of her healing. Of showing her, when I look at you, I don't see what guys see when they're looking at porn. I see something noble and beautiful. You're safe in my presence. I see my bride, my best friend, the daughter of God. I was able to be part of her healing. And you know what, guys? That makes me the man. I'm the man. Any idiot can use a girl. Your dog can use the neighbor's dog. It takes a real man to love with a pure heart. It takes a real man to stand up for the dignity of women. When I was in high school, I made a vow to myself. Whenever I heard a guy talking trash about a girl in the locker room, wherever it was, I go right up to him and say, God is listening to you right now. Sometimes they'd be bigger than me. Sometimes they'd threaten me with a beat down. Say, hey, it's not between me and you, it's between you and God. Just want you to know you're talking about his daughter. But never sit there silent. Brothers, don't do that. Speak up, I don't care how small you are. Be that man. Girls, date that man. Don't ever forget who you are. I don't care where you've been, what you've done, what's been done to you. Don't forget who you are. Because none of that stuff defines you. You know what defines who you are? That's me and my wife meeting our baby Clementine a year and a half ago for the first time. You know how they learn who they are? It's not by looking in a mirror. It wouldn't make sense to them look in the mirror when they're first born. It's not by looking at their accomplishments or measuring themselves by their failures. They learn who they are by looking at their parents. Before they can know their names, they know, who am I? I'm precious. What am I worth? I'm worth dying for. Guys, you know how we learn who we are? It's not by listening to gossip about us in school. It's not by measuring our grades, and that's my worth. Now, none of that measures who we are. Our faith doesn't just teach us who God is. Our faith teaches us who we are. Who am I? I'm precious. What am I worth? I'm worth dying for. And anything less than that is a lie from the evil one. That is what tells you who you are. I don't care what anyone in your school tells you who you are, man. You walk with your head held up high. Because God died for you. That's what tells you who you are. I pray to God my little girls never forget who they are. Girls, that's who you are. You're a princess. You don't forget it. You used to dress like that, right? I was given an assembly once, a freshman girl in the front row goes, I still do. I'm like, shh, quiet. I noticed recently she's holding a toy chainsaw in that picture. That's the kind of princess you gotta be. I'm a princess. Don't mess with me. Even though you don't dress like that anymore, don't forget the sense you had back then, that you're worthy of a love that's noble, beautiful, and dignified. That's who you are at your core. I'm going to close with a scripture from Proverbs, written thousands of years ago because we've been stupid for a really long time. This guy was looking out of his window. He described the scene. He said, I noticed a youth who lacked judgment. He was going down the street near her corner. Out came a woman to meet him, dressed like a prostitute with crafty intent. Now she's in the streets, now in the squares, at every corner she lurks. She took hold of him and kissed him. With persuasive words, she led him astray. He followed her like an ox going to the slaughter, little knowing it will cost him his life. Where are you giving the invitation to the imitation of love? Everywhere. Now in the streets, now in the squares, at every corner she lurks. Now in the billboard, now in the pop-up ad.
Now the text you got, droid, come over because my parents aren't home. And the friends will mock you for doing the right thing. It's everywhere. Teens follow like an ox being led to the slaughter. What's a cow worried about when he goes to get slaughtered? Nothing. Or you didn't notice the blood covering the floor? You didn't see your friends' body parts lining the walls? Boo. It's all good. I don't think so. What, you didn't notice the cervical cancer, the infertility? You didn't happen to see the broken hearts, the broken marriages, reputations, lives? You didn't notice 500,000 people in their grave from AIDS, just in our country, saying, stop. You didn't see any of that? Moo, it's all good. I have a condom. Got it from the bathroom at the gas station. I'm safe. What's the big deal? What's the cost? A little sin with somebody else, a little sin with myself? What's the cost? Little knowing it will cost him his life. The cost is you. You can choose your sin, you can't choose the cost. What's the reward of following my invitation, the invitation God already etched on your heart before you sat down in this room to authentic love? I'm not talking about yesterday. I'm talking about from today, because God is a God of today. What's the reward? You won't have to worry about any of the bad stuff we talked about today. You'll know what real love is. Because you'll learn to put what's good for someone first and what you want from them second. You'll have real relationships because no one will be there to use you because it's not happening. Look, I'm not inviting you to something easy. And neither is your heart. But something real. And once you see what's real, it doesn't matter if it's easy. It doesn't matter what sacrifices you got to make. It doesn't matter if you fall flat on your face, you'll get up. Be patient with yourself. Doesn't matter what you did yesterday. Doesn't matter what people say about your school. Doesn't matter if, God forbid, you got to be alone on a Saturday night. Doesn't matter if you're made fun of. Once you see what's real, that's all that matters. And I promise you right now, all the sacrifices you made for what's real, they will all fall away and look like nothing when you look to the end of the aisle and see your spouse. And most of all, even if you don't get married, it'll all fall away and look like nothing when you look to the end of the aisle of this life and see the love that every love has prepared you for and led you to. Blessed are the pure in heart. They will see God. Because God is love, and you cannot see love without purity. Let's pray. Close your eyes. Forget about the people around you. Take a deep breath. Lord, you are closer to us than our breath. You're looking at us right now. We can hide our hearts from the person next to us, but not from you. What do you see? Sometimes we look at ourselves, we see our faults, our failings, our weakness. You look at us and you see something you found worth dying for. Help us to see what you see in us. Help us to make your love the foundation of our lives. The foundation we get up from when we fall down. The foundation of the healing we seek because we deserve it. The foundation of the culture of respect we build in this place and in our schools. The foundation of the respect and dignity we uphold in the people around us. Thank you, Lord, for loving us. We receive it. Give us the strength to make your love the foundation of our lives. Jesus, we trust in you. Glory to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. I love you guys. Thanks for listening. Don't walk away. My website is reallifecatholic.com. What's my website? reallifecatholic.com. Good. I put out a video every other week to inform you in your faith and inspire your faith. And they're really, they're like top class. Listen, I want you to get those. I want to share them with you guys. I want you to take your phone out right now. Take it out, go ahead. And if you want to stay in touch and have me send you this video once a month, maybe twice a month, here's the number you text right now. 678 249 3375. Again, 678 249 3375. And in the body of the text, the message itself, write the word Catholic, and then a space, and then your email address. So Catholic, don't write the word S-P-A-C-E. Thank you, okay? Put a space, and not return, just a space. If it's return, it won't work. So Catholic, a space, and then your email address, and then send it. And you'll get an email to be added to my email list. Also, you can like me on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and there's a contact tab on my site where if you have any questions or contact me through any of those means, I will respond to you. Again, reallifecatholic.com. On the table in the back of the room is a couple things for sale. Your parents ate most of them up, but there's a couple things left. There's a book called Raising Pure Teens and a CD called The New Sexual Revolution. If you're passionate about this topic at all and you want all the greatest research on it, it's all on the book and CD. If you want a copy of the talk I just gave, by signing up for the e-newsletter, and if you didn't do it now, there's a little mail link on my website. You can sign up for it on there. I'll send you an MP3 of this talk so you can share it with a friend. I love you guys. Thanks again for listening. It's been an honor talking to you.